Tired of wiping on the same boss for hours?
Die, insect.
Can't seem to win against that new druid deck?
My thanks to you.
Are your teammates not standing on the payload?
Quit lollygagging. Get on the payload.
Well, grab a drink and pull up a chair. This is the Game Case Show, your Blizzard Entertainment podcast. Here are your hosts, Cuddles and Turarts.
Well, hello. Hi, howdy, and welcome to episode 111 of The Game Case. I am Chris, also known as Cuddles, a brewmaster monk on Airy Peak in the Convert to Raid Guild.
And I am Turarts, the Beast Mastery Hunter, also in the Convert to Raid Guild and Airy Peak server.
Well, this week we're going to talk a little bit about our weeks in gaming. We're going to answer some questions from the Cuddle crew, and then we're going to be talking to one of my absolutely most favorite people that I have met throughout this internet gaming journey. 2-3 years ago, I don't know, we were sitting outside the BlizzCon, sitting on a fountain talking about our dreams and our journeys, and we had this really deep chat.
It was the drugs, I swear.
It
probably
was
a little bit.
No, but geez. Tonight we have the pleasure of having the lovely, incredible Miss Pasha. Pasha, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Oh yeah.
We're excited to have you on. It's been a while. Well, I don't think. Well,
Thank you guys for inviting me. I was so pumped when you guys were like, "Hey, you guys, you want to just talk about cosplay and conventions?" I'm like, "Dude, it's my jam." Yeah. That's my jam.
I say, well, I've loved, and we'll talk about this. I've loved watching your journey, knowing you for, I can actually say years now and mean it. I've known you for years now. It's just so exciting to watch you finally do something. But we're excited to have you on and taking time out of your full schedule. What have you been up to this week?
I am working on this cosplay right here. I just started working on the tails. I'm gonna be debuting it at Anime Boston. So yeah, all of it's all over the place. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. What have you guys been up to? Anything interesting, gaming wise?
Gaming wise, I've dived back into Portal, which is awesome. I love the Portal. Although I never played Portal 1, I played Portal 2. And so now doing it reverse is very interesting because I'm like, wait, no, I want to do this though. I want to.
I miss Portal. Oh, that's such a good game.
I love it. So yeah, just doing some laid back streaming. I'll probably be doing some tomorrow actually.
Streaming?
I am, yes.
What?
It's been forever since we talked. I had affiliate in September. And it's been sporadic because we had the BlizzCon stuff, and then I had Project 168. So my streaming time gets taken up with other time. But yeah, it's been great. I got affiliate. I got Cuddles. He's been following me. He's one of my 7-month subs. I have to do something for you and Barf because you've been with me since hour 1, minute 1.
I'll have to check you guys. I'll have to follow you because I literally craft all day. So now that my PC is in my craft room, I can watch streams now and hang out and chat while I'm just it'll keep me amused.
Will warn you, and this is for all you CTR loving folks, I am very family friendly on here in the Converted, but if you watch me streaming, just a little PSA, we're gonna drop some F-bombs. Probably a lot.
Yeah. It's sailor mouth comes out.
Just be careful. The competitive sailor mouth comes out a little bit. So I love you guys. I want you to come, but I understand if it's not your cup of tea. But we drink tea and wine.
Yep. Wine. Oh, we should do a girls' night soon.
Let's do it. We can Overwatch or PUBG or not Heroes. I love Heroes. I suck at Heroes. So bad. But Cuddles. You Overwatch. You are awesome. We'll let you have a turn to talk.
Okay. I'm not good at Overwatch, and I haven't been playing that at all. Although I did get in a little bit of Hearthstone this week and tried out a new game called Fable, and it's gonna kill me because I can't. Fable Champions, something like this. It's a new Fable card game.
Is
and
mine? Oh, it's card game. Never mind.
Yeah,
I was gonna say if it's not Fable.
Fable, like 1, 2, 3, like my jam.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
You
no,
just have-
it's
yes.
Hearthstone, but with the Fable characters, and a bunch of new and like really cool, innovative, like twists and turns to it. So I played that, loved it. Escape from Tarkov, of course, is an addiction.
I want to
Yes.
play that in VR.
I do
I want
too.
to play that in VR so bad. Like, that's
Yeah.
my next thing, guys. Pasha's going to VR soon.
Ooh, oh, that's exciting.
That'll be fun.
Um,
We know a hookup if you need help.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we know a guy that does VR.
You know a guy?
A guy.
We know, guy.
Okay, you know a guy.
I got a guy for that. I got a guy. He lives down in Brooklyn. We got
No,
this.
he does.
No.
No?
Okay,
No.
we're done.
No, he doesn't
The
live in
stream's
Brooklyn.
over.
It's fine.
No, that's it.
Done.
All right.
Good.
All right. Well, and then I played some more video games that weren't me
Yeah?
doing horrible accents. Did some Sea of Thieves and Vermintide 2.
Sea of Thieves
Those are
looks
others.
fun.
Ooh.
There's too many games.
So Sea of Thieves, I'm like, I don't know, I'm like 50-50 on, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's a really, really neat experience when you're in there with friends. And it's this really pretty, kind of vibrant, beautiful world. But I don't know if there's enough there. And I also fear that it might be one of those games that it's super fun with friends. So when your friends aren't around, maybe it's not as super fun. I'm thinking like Ghost Recon Wildlands, sort of game that was a blast with a team. Suffered a little bit in the solo play. So I don't know. I say that, but I'm gonna get Sea of Thieves. It's a lot of fun. You get to be a pirate and catch cartoon pigs.
Yeah.
So I'll probably just buy it. That's me getting off of the high horse. And then Vermintide 2, which I
How
had
is
no
that?
idea. I had no idea it existed. I guess
I
like
never heard
Warhammer
of it.
confuses me. Like that there's
Yeah.
there's like
I
this
know
this
Warhammer, but not the new one.
yeah, there's like
So-
these 4X games, and then there's these spacey ones, then there's these other things. I don't know. It
Yeah.
seems like Warhammer does a little bit of everything. And
Yeah.
evidently they make a game that's kind of like Left 4 Dead meets Lord of the Rings. And it's glorious, and I love it. And
Yeah,
I
actually,
don't
my
want to
friend
do
was
anything but
saying
play it.
Yeah, my friend was playing it earlier, and it kind of has like that Skyrim-y kind of vibe.
That is my favorite description of a video game ever. Left 4 Dead meets Lord of the Rings.
That's really what
love
it
it.
is. Like
I believe you.
there's rats instead of zombies, and you have like a sword and a bow instead of like a shotgun and like an M16. Or in my case, like a pistol that has no ammo left and a crowbar.
That would be me.
Yeah.
No frying pans.
No frying
Frying pans is my jam.
I'm telling you, I tell
That's my
everyone,
jam.
you need to come to Iowa because we have the world's largest frying pan in Brandon, Iowa, which is like an hour and a half up for me. Not even
Yeah.
that, like 50 minutes. But we'll just come like take a PUBG like type photo in the world's largest frying pan with frying pans.
I want to do a PUBG cosplay, like so bad. Just a group of people, and we got to
I
do it
would
right.
love
I
to
would
do
do
that.
it. Oh yeah.
We got to do it
I would
right.
so
like,
love to do that.
Can I just be the
It'd be so
person
fun.
laying on the ground, like just
I
like
want to do like blooper videos.
yes,
like-
I'm down.
That's basically all I want. I don't want to cosplay it just to like take pictures, but I want to like make blooper videos. I think that'd be hilarious.
I would do this. I would.
I
Totally
want to do
this.
more of that stuff, but
God,
That
I would
sounds
do
like-
this. That does.
We should do this. We should do this for like
Yes.
East next year.
oh yes,
That's what we do.
I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be the only group of PUBG cosplay
Oh.
there.
Oh,
the
did you
entire time.
see? Did you see Fortnite is now beating PlayerUnknown on
Oh, yeah.
Twitch?
Yes.
I was like,
drops?
what?
Drops,
Yeah.
Twitch drops. That's what there was actually just we never talk about news, but there was this cool little
sometimes.
ninja who is one of like the top Twitch streamers on the platform
Mhm.
just broke 144,000 subs in the last month. So yeah. And that was all because he was playing Fortnite and there were loot drops. So there was, you can create a free Prime account to get your loot drop. So folks were doing that to get their loot, and then throwing their sub at Ninja for pointing that out. And I don't know if he was pointing it out or his community, but it was definitely like a huge thing on Twitch over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, that I actually downloaded it. I played it like twice, and I definitely need to get used to it. It's not
Oh yeah.
definitely not PUBG, but yeah, it seems interesting. Like you could probably if you strategize a little bit more, it'd be kind of fun to do.
My siblings, I love them. They're great. No, they really are great. But I play PUBG and they play Fortnite. And now I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, I might have to go to the dark side now after like 8 months of us at family going, nope, this one's better.
We should do a Fortnite wine night.
Done. Deal. We'll suck.
Done.
It'll be great. Done.
Didn't take much convincing right
No.
there. Okay.
You said wine.
We're
We could have
done.
like
Wine.
wine. Basically, wine's all I
Sold
need.
it. Sold it. All right.
No,
Let's do
Fortnite can be a lot of fun. And once you
Yeah.
get used to it's all it is getting used to building. Like just getting used to that one extra mechanic and then you'll be there. And cartoony yet oddly accurate
Very
shooting.
cartoony,
Like
but yeah, the shooting was
Cartoony
actually
realistic.
very different.
like
Yeah.
it's weird. But
Yep.
so much fun.
Yeah.
But there's also things now out like The Hunt, and Escape from Tarkov. And
There's that SOS game that's coming out, which I'm
Yep.
very excited for.
SOS launches, I think, the 20th. Maybe
Is
the
it?
21st. Or maybe
Actually,
even
it's
after
right
that.
there.
I don't know. I know Stack Up's doing a game night with it on the 21st. That may
think
be
I have a
before or
key for
after
that.
release. But no, and then Darwin Project, which is doing
Yeah.
some really cool stuff with like chat interaction. There's a lot of like really cool stuff coming out. I hope that people remember that we like games that aren't battle royale games.
Yep.
It'll come and go. Like
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
it'll come and go.
So, have you guys been playing much WoW?
A little bit. Cuddle, have you actually, Cuddles, been playing well?
No.
I saw
No.
him once. Okay, I
know.
saw him once on WoW, and I was like, "What is this? What is this madness? Why is he on WoW?"
I'm getting like in and out. Like I'm slowly leveling everybody up, getting ready for Battle of Azeroth, and like, I'll be ready when the new X-Pack drops.
I jumped on Twitch recently and played a little bit, and everybody was like, "Whoa, I thought you left WoW," and I'm like, "I didn't leave. I'm just taking a break."
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
I love WoW, but it is one of those games where it ebb and flows with me. Like I'll be really into it, and then
Yes.
I'll be like, let's Overwatch.
it flowed for me for a long time.
Yes.
But then Legion hit, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. My flow stopped. It was like, nope. I can't do the mythic rating anymore. It's just the 20-man is very exhausting. Trying to manage 20 people, and everybody's mindset is quite different. So I think with next expansion, I'm gonna try and do rating. But with the cosplay stuff, it's we'll see.
Yeah.
I tell myself that every expansion, Echelon, I love you. He'll be like, do you need this? I'm like, yeah. He goes, come get ahead of the curve with us. I'm like, sweet. I will lay on the floor and die and kick my
So
mouse.
it's literally like, I wouldn't mind just hopping in, like, and helping a team out here and there, because I'm not that unskilled that when I jump on, I just need to get the gear and then go in and like I'll just be like on call or something. I don't know. We'll see. I also want to play Horde.
Ooh.
I wanna be a dinosaur druid.
Yes.
Those look so cool.
If our buddies Fist and Thorn, if you're not in their guild already, I would recommend them for a Horde
Yes.
guild.
I have met Thorn. I did not get to meet this.
You two,
Next.
I think, would get along really well.
Yes, I think so too. We'll have to meet up next time. I'm bifactional. Yes, Totem. It's very true. But
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about all this horde stuff. Why don't we move on to some questions?
You've played the other
Uh,
side.
Yeah. I'm slowly leveling one up. Like that's what you'll find me doing, like on Twitch with
Leveling.
WoW, is just leveling over on the horde side. Like no guides, no heirlooms, just kind of wandering
out.
around. Yeah, just kind of because I've never done the horde side, and I've never really taken my time with any of the story either. Like I've always been a run to I'm only questing to get it leveled to play the end game.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's so I'm trying to not do that.
Exactly. Yep.
I think we have a whole bunch of questions this week.
We have questions this week, guys. I'm
Woohoo!
getting better at my job of asking if you have questions.
You guys are awesome. Go ahead.
So
T.
let's start off with Zeph, and she says, "Yay, Pasha!" So, question: what is your favorite cosplay that you have done, and how long did it take to create?
All right. So I did write down things. My favorite cosplay so far it's been Valera. Valera has been, as you can see, she's proudly displayed behind me. Since I was new, I wasn't really sure about my cosplay and blah blah blah, whatever. She was my newest build. She was the one that all of the hard work that I did before and all the mistakes that I made, I perfected, and this is the outcome. Plus, all my patrons, without those guys, this cosplay wouldn't have been a thing. So, I think from a creator's perspective and having the support from other people who love what you do, I think this cosplay was made with love in a way. So that's why I love it. It's my favorite one. So.
Aw.
Yeah.
How long did it take?
I calculated to 150 hours total of just building. And that's not including the mistakes that I've made where I've crumpled stuff up and gotta reheat this, or I guess I gotta order more EVA foam. Yeah, so cosplay science, I've made so many mistakes and wasted so much money. But I'm learning and I'm perfecting, and yeah.
Zeph also adds, do you have any tips for people that might be interested in cosplaying for the first time?
I do. I have a lot of tips, but my very first and only tip really is when you hi puppy. When you get into cosplay, don't pick a giant cosplay to start. Try to work small. And honestly, cosplay is most of us have done it already. Halloween, we all dress up, and cosplay doesn't have to necessarily mean you build it yourself. You could just throw on a costume, and that's technically cosplay. You're having fun. You're being a character. You're, whatever, having fun. It's just, yeah. Start small. If you need to buy a costume and just make a prop for it, and that's how you start off, I would suggest doing that. And then researching and watching tutorials, and then practicing with just moving up bigger and bigger and bigger every time. So, yeah. But also cosplay something that you love. Last tip. Don't cosplay something that you're going to hate. Oh, no, don't do it. Don't do it. You'll regret it. That's all I got to say.
So we have a few questions from Totem.
Yes.
How much? And this is kind of this is digging into a little bit of the science behind cosplay. People don't realize how much math, biochemistry, neuroscienceal degrees are required for this stuff. So if I could ask you, in your expert opinion, how much floof is too much floof?
There is no such thing as too much floof, Totem.
Totem should have known this. There's her tail. Oh.
This is
This is one of her tails.
One
Yes.
of my floof tails I'll be doing. She's basically like a nine tails, like Kitsune. Ari, I guess, is League of Legends character. So lots of floof. There is never too much floof.
Okay, follow-up question from Totem, mind you. Can I touch your tail?
Only if you give head pets first.
There you go.
I like head pets.
Now let's take a question that's actually a question. I love you,
Those are
Totem.
questions.
I love them.
By the strictest definition, yes, they were. How has cosplay affected your self-confidence?
This one was really hard to answer because it's just getting the right words out. But it's grown my confidence immensely from, like, even when I was Twitch streaming, my confidence was not there. I was often very shaky, very nervous, very tripping over my words, kind of. And every time I'd see negativity in my chat, I'd like shut down, like instantly, and not like what I was doing. But with cosplay, it's kind of like an escape for me, because you're not really yourself. You are performing your character, basically. Like in Valera, I felt like I was a badass rogue. So when I put her on, I felt powerful. I felt like there. I don't know. It's really hard to describe. But like when you get on the con floor and you have people just instantly go, "Oh my God, can I get a picture with you?" And just that attention, that adrenaline rush, that like slice of happiness of like, "Oh my God, you appreciate my work?" Like, it just, you like what I did? Like, thank you. I'll gladly take pictures with you, and yeah, sure, shoot me a follow. Thank you. Like, it's such a rush, and it really helps with the confidence, and just like it's just a euphoric feeling, I guess is the best way I can describe it, and even like as humans, we all love attention in a way, and I usually got attention the wrong way, but with cosplay, I get it in like a whole different aspect, and it's amazing. It's like the best feeling in the whole world. But yeah, that my confidence definitely was pushed up a lot. But there's still, like I get really nervous, especially when you first like get on the con floor and you're like, oh God, I hope nerds will notice me and understand what I am, and like they're not gonna be like, oh, you totally did that character wrong, because nerds, we like our stuff to be accurate. So yeah.
This is awesome.
Thanks.
So we have one more from Totem.
Yeah.
And again, this is from Totem. I don't.
We just read the questions.
Are you planning on buying more bodysuits?
I am, and the next one I'm actually planning on doing is Black Cat.
Ooh.
Yeah. Maybe a Spider Gwen, like kind of, because I did the anti-Gwenum, so we'll see.
Ooh.
Definitely in the brain. Yeah.
Right on.
That'll be awesome. And then we have one last question. This is from Galvin. How do you decide on what to build next?
I never know what I'm doing. With cos plans, I could have something like ready in the chamber, ready to go, and then all of a sudden Blizzard will come out with like a new skin or something, and I'm like, well, that's ruined. I guess I'm gonna do this skin. So it's I don't know. I guess when I know what I want to do, I just do it. There's never like, I don't know. I just kind of do stuff. Like Valera, I wasn't going to do Valera. I was going to do Syndragosa. But
Oh, really?
yeah, I was going to do a Syndragosa. and I was gonna start as soon as I got home from BlizzCon. That didn't happen. With the holidays and stuff like that, it was kind of hard. And then, yeah, just a lot of things happened. But at the moment, my sites are BlizzCon cosplay. So yeah, that's I don't know how to answer that properly. It's really hard to just decide. Usually it's a month before a con. Lately. So, but now I need to knuckle down and not do that anymore because it's the most stressful thing, and it's yeah.
No,
I had. Oh, God.
I was gonna say I giggled at that because I've seen this, like
Yeah.
having followed you for like the last couple, just on like even like regardless of us talking, like I'm following you, you know, on the Instagram, and I see you. It's like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then yeah, it's like 6 weeks before a con. It's like, what's she
Yeah.
really gonna do?
Yes.
And I've always wondered how you actually deal with that because I was like, she doesn't give herself much time for a lot of these, and they come out so great. So I know you're dumping a
Yep.
lot of time in like a very short period of time.
It's a very unhealthy amount of time. Literally, like within a month, I had to get this whole thing made plus 2 props, which I've never made a prop before, especially 2 that needed to look exactly alike and be
Ooh.
a certain size. It was hell trying to figure out what I was gonna do. So yeah, I didn't give myself enough time. I would be up in the morning, most of the time stressing out. I had the jitters, so I'd be like shaking with like my X-Acto knife, like
Oh, goodness.
it's so bad. So yeah, and I think the worst one was BlizzCon with Kill Jaden because I didn't really get to necessarily finish it, and I learned my lesson because BlizzCon is a place where I spend tons of money to travel to and to really like shine. Like I really wanted to shine that day, but to me it was just too much, you know, like I only wore it for a couple hours. My shoes broke. It just wasn't enough time for me to really plan. So this year I'm starting ahead of time and I might bring 2 cosplays. Who knows? But yeah, I hope that answered your question.
I think that sounded great to me, Calvin. And if she didn't, I don't know, like,
Just harass me on
complain or something.
Twitter.
Yeah. So why don't we jump into the meat and the potatoes, Pasha? Tell us a little bit about you. You lost
What? Hello, Turex? Rip? Rip? Hello, come back.
Let's keep on going. You can tell us a little bit about
Okay.
yourself. Yeah, this will make it easier
I'll just
so I
check
don't
the
have
chat.
to edit it later.
Don't worry about it. So I am a 30-year-old who watches a lot of anime. I love Halloween every day. I play video games. I burp. I love. I don't know. I just relax at home most of the time. There's nothing really. You guys mostly know me, so it's like it's hard to really. But yeah, this is what I do with my life now. I used to be a Twitch streamer. You guys, I've been on the stream or on this podcast talking about Mythic raiding, and now I'm like cosplaying. So it's such a weird transition, right? But yeah, it's my new passion. It's been a passion of mine for freaking ever. Like when we were conversating at BlizzCon, I was like, I want to cosplay at some point. I just don't know what I'm gonna do or how I'm gonna do it.
Well,
And I just did it.
yeah,
It's-
and holy crap. I mean, like, look, just the stuff behind you. For those that
Yeah.
are listening, like, to audio only of this, she's got like her whole little setup with all her cool cosplay stuff.
You can see it, but yeah, I got Zaya, which is my very first cosplay. And then I have my loving new cosplay. Hello.
Oh, Well, as we wait for T to come back, how did you first get into cosplay? I know it's been a passion of yours, but
Yeah.
like how did you go from like seeing somebody and saying, "Oh, that's cool, I want to do that," or like I think cosplay is really cool. I also didn't spend 280 hours designing an outfit to wear to PAX. Like I grabbed my least wrinkly shirts and threw them in a bag and hoped they didn't smell too bad.
So, yeah, hold on, my camera's being moved. Like I said, I've always had that passion, and I think the push was when I found out that I wasn't really cut out for Twitch. And I was like, I don't want to be a normal person. Like, I can't do normal jobs. I was a nurse for almost like 9 years, and going back to that job, like, just mentally drains me just thinking about it. So I'm like, what can I do to better kind of like still do the gaming thing, but also do it in my own way, which is creativity and art and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. So my very first cosplay was Princess Mononoke.
Ooh.
Yes, and I went to Anime Boston. This was the last year around the same time. It was my first convention cosplaying, and just wanted to dip my feet. It was a really simple cosplay. I even have my little Mononoke
Oh.
mask.
Oh, I
Yeah.
remember that one. Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'll dip my feet in it. I made the weapons, which are right here. Let me get it. This is my very first prop.
Oh, that is so awesome. So it's like a spear.
Yeah. So, like, I made all of this stuff because I wanted to be extra. So I like did my own little touches instead of just movie. The whatever. I just did my own little flair to it.
That's really cool. Now, how much room in cosplay is there for that? Like as an outsider, like I have, especially like as an outsider of a lot of these fandoms, like I'm in zero position to discuss the accuracy of any cosplay outside of Starfleet uniforms. I could probably talk about authoritatively, but outside of that, like I don't know, like how true to a character do you have to be, and how much room is there for you to kind of express yourself in it?
Honestly, I think with like today, people appreciate it when you go the extra mile, and I don't think it's looked down upon. It's like you do it your way. You cosplay your way. No one should judge you. If you're wanting to put your own spin on something, like, I don't think it's a bad thing. It's never a bad thing. People cosplay concept art over the actual characters now because it's just better looking, So, like with that, I wanted it to be a little bit more native looking rather than cartoony anime style. So I went and used actual antlers and made a necklace and added more native stuff to it, and I didn't put the wig on. I used my own hair. I just, was my own Princess Mononoke. Plus, like, she's kind of been like one of my favorite characters because she's a very strong female character in, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie, and if you haven't, go see it, Cuddles.
Nope.
We're gonna have a movie night. We're gonna have a movie night when you guys come visit.
That's what I need, like a week to just come and hang out with you guys and just like weeb out.
Yes.
Like I need to go like full immersion. I've been like slowly learning things, but I feel like I need to just dive headfirst into the lifestyle.
I think we'd show you like that type of movie, and I think you guys would appreciate it very much. Very loving stories. Very strong females, it's just a really awesome movie in general. So yeah, I figured I'd start with a person, like I said, start small, with a very small cosplay. And I love the character. So yeah, I started that way. Made the props. I kind of threw a t-shirt and a dress that were already like a thing for like $10. I went to like a hand-me-down store and got it, and
Wow.
boom, it was a cosplay. Like, eventually I worked into progressing into more difficult cosplays. But anyways, back on track. Getting on the floor in Princess Mononoke. There was like 12 other Princess Mononoke's, but for some reason mine stood out to a lot of people, and a lot of people were just like, can I grab your picture, like blah blah blah, and it felt good. It was like, wow, you noticed that I'm different, like I'm not just the other Mononoke. Like, you noticed that I added detail into it, you noticed that I added leather and just made it look more native than the others, you know, like. And I think that's the I was just like, this is it. This is me. Like, I told Paxton, like, yep, this is my new career. Sorry. No more Twitch. But I'm going to be, I stream here and there still, but like, it'll be more cosplay building, which soon.
That's awesome. It's so cool, like hearing how somebody found their passion and seeing somebody that is just like you're glowing when you talk about cosplay.
Yes, it's like I said, it's just that feeling of like you accomplish something, and people like, it's a niche thing too. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Zaya. When I wore Zaya to a Comic-Con, Zaya is a video game character, and I was like unsure of how people would react to a League of Legends character at a Comic-Con. But because she was a new champion, people were just like pointing it out, and they were just like, oh my god, this is so cool, and Zaya, and they were just like so pumped about it. And I ended up winning a contest that I entered. Like, it was just all of that again solidified cosplay. Like, it's now a new passion of mine. Plus the community, like cosplayers in general, they're so loving and inviting and just very enthusiastic. You know, if they see something that you did and, you know, it's mediocre, they're still like, oh my god, that's awesome. You know, like, it's just how they are. And it kind of made me the same way. Like, I just, you know, whatever people do, I'm just like, this is awesome. You know, you're so good. But I don't know, it's a good community. Very supportive.
So you talked about how in the beginning, you went to a thrift store, you found some outfits that work, kind of add some pizzazz.
Yeah.
What advice would you have for cosplayers wanting to take that next step to making 2 identical weapons and chest piece and working with foam and all this stuff?
So what I did to step up my game was just watch a lot of tutorials. I would watch the same Kamui video at least 12 times. I watched Jessica Nigri's Cindergosa build, and I've referenced that for like many of my builds, actually. Like, I just did my own little spin on it, you know what I mean? It wasn't the exact thing that they made. I was just like, oh, well, she made it this way, my bracer is this way, so I have to just take it this much. Yeah, it's just lots of tutorials. Again, you're gonna fail probably a couple times. It's very frustrating, but sleep. Always sleep on it, okay? Revisit your project. Don't just sit there and make the mistakes that I've made and just work through it all night long and not sleep. And then you're just left with what you had, you know, because sleep is very important. That's what I did with Valera. I would work piece by piece and then slowly get into it. And then if I needed to replace something, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take a break. Or if I started getting angry. I thought about doing like my own little document during my whole entire BlizzCon. Literally, just so you guys can see, it's not all rainbows and butterflies and there's curse words, there is my fingers are burnt. Like, the tips of them are still peeling. Like, I have bruises, I have scars, I have burn marks, I have everything in the world. I've stabbed myself with scissors. Like, it's brutal.
Jeez.
Yes. Very brutal.
I imagine there's like I can only imagine that there's a lot of emotion wrapped up in it, especially once you get like close to a deadline or at a certain point in a build.
I've not cried, but I've literally thrown shit and said, F it, I'm done. I am not going to this con. That's it. I quit. And like Pax will just be like, it's okay, you can go, you can do it, just rest, just get some sleep, I'll help you if you need it. Like, and then the next day I'm over it and I'm just getting back to work. So it's an emotional roller coaster. Yep. Some days you're just like, I actually think I did a Twitter post of all of my emotions before KatsuCon. Like it was just emotes of like how I've been doing all day long. When you're a cosplayer, like, yeah, you feel everything, all the feels. But
So I do have a question, and I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but do you have an idea for BlizzCon this year?
I do.
What?
So are you guys aware of Zach Fisher?
Yes.
Zach Fisher's artwork is phenomenal, and his concept art for cosplay is just amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
So he is doing this project, Ebon Blade, for BlizzCon. He has over 150 cosplayers in his regiment right now. And we're basically resurrecting dead Warcraft, or alive, I think some people are alive, and they're going to be all Death Knights. Because this is my first time working with him, I chose to do what he's releasing to the public. So it's more of a test for me, because his armor is very detailed, very intricate, very like next level. Like this will be pushing my limit. Like this is my second year cosplaying. This is what people do after they've done it for like 10 years. So I want to push my limits here with this cosplay, and that's why I figured if I gave myself enough time, I can do it. I can just focus on bracers, or just like piece by piece by piece and putting it together, rather than going all out and just losing my mind a month before BlizzCon. And again, I want to prove to Zach that I am capable of doing what he is capable of, whatever's pooping out of his head. And like maybe work with him in the future. So BlizzCon, I will be a Death Knight. I will have. Awesome. It's literally. I told him I didn't want a bikini armor. I was like, please hammer something. Like it has to be full on. Like I have a full chest plate with the leg plates, a helm, shoulders that are crazy. I can link you guys later. I can actually link it in chat if that's okay.
Yeah. If you can, I will.
Okay. I'm gonna find it. It is.
There we go.
Let me.
What class are you going as? Or race?
It'll be a blood elf. Gotcha. I seem to pull off blood elves very much. Plus, I spent like those ears that I have. They were so awesome. Like the person that made them, like, God, they're perfect. They're like just right for blood elves. Because every time I went to find ears, they were like anime elf ears or like night elf ears. They weren't up, like straight up. So I'm gonna use those all the time. Plus, I'm a blood elf in human form. I'm a tiny small human. Like I could do. I'm not a night elf. They're tall and just not me. Let me link you guys.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I'm a pain.
Oh, a panda.
I've never thought of what I was.
So, are you getting a panda kigurumi? Axe? We should do a Kigu Barkong.
I'll do it.
That is awesome.
I can't do it on the floor, but I can do it like off the floor.
Yeah. Like we can go like later on in the evening.
What color are you going with?
I didn't know there was options.
I was talking to Pasha, but you could have a color too.
Oh.
Sorry, I was looking at
Oh,
picture.
the thing.
Sorry.
Okay, I thought we were talking about our panda onesies.
Sorry.
I'm not sure yet. I'm kind of leaning towards blue because it's like the frost decay. Like it just is.
Oh.
It screams DK. But I also really enjoy the purple.
I say the purple
looks
I liked.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So the purple won the vote on Twitter. So I'm thinking I might do purple.
You did
But-
just do purple though. The blue would be fun.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like I would love to do something with like the blue spooky lights. The red looks cool too because blood DK. I am a blood DK. I take, but we'll see. That will also be. Maybe I'll just get LEDs and change color.
I have one of those somewhere. It's fine. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your panda talk. I got distracted by pretties.
But I have these UV clear lenses for my eyes. So when I put the helmet on, my eyes will there's gonna be LEDs like right here going.
It'll reflect.
My eyes, it's gonna reflect the blue. So even if I do a blood or a frost death knight with the blue, it'll have a better effect. And I'm gonna try and figure out how to add smoke that'll allow like the smoke to creep out of the armor.
That'll be
So-
pretty cool.
Just need a little
Yeah.
smoke machine.
Yeah.
Take tons
Yeah.
of pictures.
Or I can do what Silverbolt did with her dragon.
Mhm.
And just use vape.
Oh,
Just kind of like hooking. Yeah.
that's kind of cool. A little vape hookah going and just. That's nice. I like it. I like the idea.
But yeah, as you can see, the detail on that is very intricate. So I'm in the figuring out what the hell I'm gonna use for it, and I'm gonna try to do purely EVA foam. I think like that's so important with a cosplay. Like when you're figuring out what you're doing, you gotta make sure that you can build it with the material that you're using, or it's just there's so much in cosplay that I can't explain it all in this one, but
Yeah, no, like all the different material. Like, are you, what materials are you working in these days? Like you just mentioned EVA foam. Like I know I'm seeing people like, you see everything from people making their own chain mail to like 3D printing things to like what are you working with? And is there a standard or is it like artist's choice?
it's whatever you're comfortable with, honestly. Like you can basically make anything out of anything. I recently followed a person who made all of her cosplays with cardboard boxes from like Coca-Cola's that she's bought. She literally made a whole Farah out of just boxes.
Wow,
That's pretty
I
awesome.
was blown away. Like, it's insane. But I mostly work with EVA foam, Worbula, and what is it? It's like a clay with resin. I forgot the name of it. I can't even think of it right now. Shit. I didn't say that word.
It's fine.
I haven't used it in a long time, but I used it a lot for Kill Jaden because it was just easy. But I'm actually staying away from that stuff because it's super expensive. So I'm just gonna literally stick to EVA foam, I think, for this next build, because I really want to push my foam smithing skill.
nice.
So,
And at that point you're basically like you're a sculptor.
yeah,
I mean you're sculpting foam.
Yep. And I did the weapons pretty easily. I'll show you my Valera weapon.
Yeah.
This is one of them. But like, this was all EVA foam. And the best part of EVA, it is light as a feather. Like, there's no weight to this. The only weight is like the PVC pipe right here. But this is just foam and it's squishy and very durable.
Yep.
So it's like, why wouldn't I use it, you know? Like, and it paints really well. The primer sticks to it. It's just an all-around awesome material. And it's literally like yoga mat. You know, like you can just go to Walmart and buy it. But yeah, it's my favorite material. And it's cheaper. than Warbler. Warbler is very expensive, and you only get a certain amount of material per roll. And with Valera, it took me 2 rolls to do just the breastplate and the legs, and like a little bit of like this part. It was just expensive. It was like $150 at the end of it, just for 2 rolls of Warbler. 2 large rolls, mind you. So yeah, it's very pricey. Luckily, I had rolls left over from the last cosplay, so I didn't have to buy it. It was already just chilling. But I did have to end up buying another roll for like $80, which like I was trying to keep it in like that patron budget. So I'm like, do I really want to? But no. So I ended up going over the budget. That was kind of sad, but.
So has your significant other offered to become a blacksmith yet? Because I feel like I could picture him smithing like weapons.
I want to know what he actually did make me one a night. I was looking for it. I need a drink. What paint do you use for foam? DK, I use acrylic paint. And then I put like a, what the heck primer did I use? I used a new primer, and it's like a automobile, like an auto primer from Lowe's.
Oh, nice.
And it worked awesome. You just like you do like 2 layers of it, and then you sand it, and it's nice and smooth. And then I usually put like a nice base color on it, which I used a black clear gloss, or not black clear, just a black glossy spray paint just as a base, and then I started painting it, and it was perfect. It was beautiful. So Pax made me this sword out of plexiglass, and it is a blood sword, and it was his idea, mind you. He hollowed out the center of it. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Kind of.
There we go.
There's liquid in the sword.
Okay, that's really cool.
That's pretty cool.
So
Good job, Pax.
Yeah, it looks like actual blood. So,
Well
yeah,
done.
That's awesome.
Yep, this is his baby. But he hasn't been able to help because he's been working. He owns a business, so it's like he's kind of, stressing about that stuff. So I try to do everything myself because it feels better knowing that you did it. You did all of it. That he'll help me with like heavy stuff, especially if I've used like certain tools. He'll help me with that stuff, but like I mostly try to do everything. Also, I just want to let you guys know, don't Dremel everything in one day. My hand was numb for 3 days. Like, could not feel anything. Like, my nerves were just like, yeah. I was also warned by other cosplayers, like, don't do that to yourself. So, I was like, I know, but I was in a rush. So yeah, never do that. Don't sand and use a tool for longer than 3 hours a session.
Ooh. Yeah, no, I could see how that would start to suck.
Yep. Yeah. It was my hand was so achy, like by the 3rd day, like it was really hard to move it. I couldn't grasp anything.
Oh, goodness.
It was very bad. I'm not young anymore, so damage really is damage. It doesn't bounce back anymore. So yeah, I gotta stop working on the floor too with a hunchback. Like, so
It's the little things.
yeah. I don't know why. I like to work. I work better when I'm sitting on the floor.
That's how I am. I like to be.
Yeah, like I sit Indian style and I'm like in it. Like that it's serious business. But
If I'm painting, which I'm not good, let's just start there. I'm not good. But if I am, I like to go from like sitting and then I'll lay on my stomach and then I'm kind of like on my side because it's a process. It's a big process.
It is.
But I do have one more question for you real quick as we get going. What is a dream cosplay? So we know what you're doing next. We know what you have done. What is one where either maybe it's time, maybe it's you still need to figure out some mechanics. What is a down the road, I want to do this cosplay?
I was gonna save this for Patreon only. But because you guys are awesome, I will share it with you. I'll be right back. I literally have a picture of it.
Oof.
Ooh.
This is an exclusive. I was not expecting this, guys.
Ooh. And if it's an exclusive and she wants to keep it very exclusive, we could just not describe it.
We could just not describe it. You have to come watch the audio
Very
or the
true.
video. I see.
Okay. Sorry. So this is my own concept art, and it's still a work in progress, but it is. Can you? Yeah. The lighting sucks. It is Cindergosa. You can't see it, can you? It's so dark.
On the.
Yeah, back there.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
There.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
So
That's
Cindergosa.
detail.
This is my white whale. This is something I've been really wanting to do. She was my very first favorite boss when I started World of Warcraft. So I wanted to make her a queen. Like, I want her to be like a frost queen and not just like some, I really want to do an elegant dress with a full-on custom corset, bones, a vertebrae. I want her skull as my helm with her jaw right here, like the top, bottom, and full wings that can open and close. Glowies, all the lights to make it look glowy and just dark. My body paint will be like frostbite. It's not going to be like, pretty. I don't want it to look pretty. She's literally a dead. I want to involve prosthetics and stuff like that too. So it'll be a lot. It's going to be like full on. Like, I want it to be movie grade costume. So she's gonna be something I'm gonna be working on in between cosplays. It'll take me a year to do, so I've accepted this. But yeah, I want her to be featured in World of Warcraft, like I don't know, like maybe display it somewhere, like that's my dream.
I love it.
So I'm striving.
That's good. It's okay.
So yeah, that's my baby. It's still a work in progress. There's probably gonna be multiple sketches of her until I get the right design that I want.
Well, Cuddles, do you have anything else to ask or anything?
I do not. Which is it's gonna bring us to time for shout outs.
Shout outs.
Gosh. Got anybody you wanna holler at?
I'd like to holler at Paxton because
So would I.
Hey, he's like the best person ever. Like, as a handler in conventions, if I have something falling off me, if we're in the middle of a shoot